Hello, welcome to another episode of Understand Nation.
What's going on?
We've had a banger of the week, right?
Oh, yeah.
We got bangers this week.
Banger of a week. Also, welcome back, Jihoon.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We missed you last week.
Welcome back. Along with my voice that wasn't there last week. So, man, just want to get to this first one. This first one's a banger. So, caught me off guard. So, we with All or Nothing. And Nick, All or Nothing, what is going on with this song?
So, I mean, this song is... Well, first off, okay, this song is amazing, right? But also, I feel like this is a little... How do I put it? Like, much more aggressive than we're used to at this time of the year.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
mean... I remember saying, like, you know, I'm kind of back in the mood for some more, like, kind of crush type songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just not a crush onslaught like we had, like, you know, late 2018 going into 2019. But I was definitely in the mood for more of these type of songs.
Yeah. So, man, like, okay. So, I mean, we have really high synths in the background.
Right.
Then you accompany that with... the really minimalist verses that the intro leads into, and you have a really good combination for a song. Because you have this, like, almost like clashing interests, right? The really high synths want to keep the momentum going, and you kind of kill it all, and then and then use the bass as your pushing force.
Now, you also got this this instrument that's kind of off. It's kind of present in there. Gives like a bit of a like a Middle Eastern kind of flair, or
so
like
the instrument is part of it, but also they chose I'm pretty sure it's a double harmonic scale, which what that's also referred to as is the Arabic scale. And
right.
That is used by flattening and notes to give it that kind of sound.
Yeah, and it kind of permeates the song, which and gives it like it kind of adds like a bit of atmosphere to the song, in addition to everything you just said before.
Yeah,
go ahead. Was it? I was gonna say, like, even going into the second verse, they added in a stringed instrument that also continued on with that Arabic feel.
I was just gonna say that they also continued it with that plucked instrument. Which really helped carry that through. Because I feel like if they would have ended it there, it just wouldn't have been an abrupt, like, where to go, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, I if not for that, like, because the song, it's like what kind of basic genre, or what's the core genre here, for this song? Like, it wouldn't feel very it wouldn't stand out much without the Arabic elements.
Right.
It would just really kind of blend into, like, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
So it really gives it, like, a more of a fresh feel. And I think that's one of the things that made it really impactful for me.
Yep, I'd agree. Yep.
Yeah. Because in the previous music video, they didn't include the Arabic sound, did they? No.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't in the intro. That happened going into the pre-chorus.
You right.
And even into the chorus. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. So, Aura, tell us a bit about the music video. Some of the things that stood out to you.
There were a lot of flashing lights. It helped. It definitely helped display, like, intensity and all that. Lots of red and blacks. So, like, this, I'm trying to remember how the previous MV is. I can't remember off the top of my head. We've watched way too many MVs to really, for me to remember. But, like, this MV definitely displays a lot of intensity, a lot of power moves. Not unlike we haven't seen with other, like, boy groups. But I will say that if you are sensitive to, like, lots of flashings, it could be very disturbing and whatever. or I wouldn't say disturbing is probably the right word, but it could be very nauseating or whatever to some people who are sensitive to it. But you know, it does help display the intensity of the MV. It very much matches all the boys or all the guys' vocals and all that. And then I don't know if you also notice like the small details when it comes to like the makeup. Like it's a little bit thicker than you would usually see on guys.
Yep. Yeah. Kind of almost gives them like a bit of like a supernatural, like almost vampiric kind of look.
Exactly. It's basically helping to show like a darker side to them, you know. Something that we would typically see like just kind of a when you're willing to sacrifice everything, and which very much matches this title, All or Nothing. This
I would say it even almost borderlines of like was it kind of like becoming a god type of feel, because especially when you put it into the context of some of the set pieces that they're standing at, they have some really some of the most interesting set pieces I've seen in music videos. So like you got one scene where they built like this almost like a volcano with like magma and steam coming out of it, and dude just standing like right at the top of this volcano. You have another scene where a guy's standing on a like a solo stage with all these microphones around, and then diaphragms for speakers. You know, just kind of dangling there by strings. You know, another scene where you got those old timey like fancy candle holders that are floating around this guy in another scene. You got it's some really intriguing background set pieces.
Oh yeah, that they got. It must have taken a long time to actually set those set pieces up too. You know, because you know if those aren't like, because I haven't seen the background. It doesn't feel like that they kind of digitally inserted it. I feel it definitely looks like they just had it like hanging with clear string or whatever. But yeah, no. It was honestly really well done set pieces.
Yeah, and you know, with everything that you just said about like with the makeup and we just talked about with the set pieces, the way it ties in to the feel of the song and the atmosphere, like the atmosphere of this song, it's really well put together.
Okay. We lost you there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were like, oh, what's going on?
Definitely, kind of like we talked about before as well. I really enjoyed the abnormal instrumentation. You know,
kind of adds to that kind of otherworldliness or etherealness. Or
yeah, definitely.
Some kind of atmosphere.
Yeah. I think that opting for that double harmonic scale was a really nice addition. We don't hear it actually too often in K-pop, but you hear it every once in a while, and it's not something that we're unfamiliar with, I would say. But it's definitely something that like I wish I heard more. You know, I wish I heard them exploring other scales, because there's so many types of scales, but it's not really that like explored well.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like we've only had like maybe 5 songs in the past 2 years where they've done this.
I remember talking about, I think, Third Eye doing something similar as well.
Yep, Third Eye. Yep.
But like, that's really the only other one that stands out to me prominently, you know, in my memory. I wish they would explore like scales, because there's actually a lot of scales that people don't know, but and especially like obviously the Middle East, right, has a ton of scales. You know, prominently India as well. Africa has some of its own unique scales. Like there's so many different regions you can explore with that, and so I really hope this does become a trend of exploring scales and going forward.
I mean, it could definitely be, because we are also basically in a transition period. Because you know, we're about to enter the spring, we're about to enter the summer. So like the warmer weather, seeing this as almost of a transition song from one season to another could definitely be a symbol of if this music video does well, it could be a symbol of a transition.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So I would say the only real issue I've had with the music video itself is the general palette of the costumes. Black, right?
Black and red.
Lots of black.
Black and red.
Black and red. Some red, some gray, but like generally lots and lots of black. I'm like, okay, guys, like it's okay to do other colors than just primarily black in K-pop, guys.
I mean, using red is definitely useful in trying to display intensity, and black is
intensity and power,
and black is to kind of display mystery or like kind of like an edgelord kind of feel.
It feels very edgelord.
But it is a easy color scheme to follow.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, though, with their costumes, they've at least done something a bit more stylistic flair with the whereas like you got some kind of some tinges of like tactical kind of imagery with the BDU style tops or cargo pants. They but then you also got some of that mixed in with like almost like a zoot suit top. So it's like they've at least changed it up there. Just expand the color palette, guys. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
So, and again, that's not that big a deal for in the terms of the concept of this music video.
Right.
So, man. So one thing that did stand out that was interesting though, they had like a dude with it looked like denim pants that were cut up and fashioned into a belt, like a really wide waist belt. Like that was interesting. So that was actually pretty interesting.
I might have to rewatch it again because I think I missed that entire part of the costume.
It'd be easy to miss. There's a lot going on with the music video. It was I thought it was interesting. So, you guys ready to move it on?
Let's do it.
Wait. All right. Oh man. Nick.
Yes.
Take it away.
So, this is a new debut that we have called PIXY. A few members are from other groups, or former members from other groups, but in general, most of them so there's some experience in the group, right, that can transfer and be really useful to the other members, right?
Yep.
But aside from that, the rest of them are new, trainees that are coming in.
Yeah.
So a little bit of American hip hop influence. Pretty. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming, but I would say it's prevalent enough to be noticeable.
Oh yeah. Isn't that what they introduced it with?
So inside of the intro is, I mean, past the very fast Korean talking.
Yeah.
There is, I would say it's an average Girl Crush intro.
Right.
But I would say sending it directly into the rap after that, so that they haven't really established a pattern yet, is very American hip hop.
Right.
Just sending it straight into the rap and then sending it after that into the pre-chorus. Structure wise, it's rather normal. Where this song really stands out is their execution.
Yep.
Like we talked about last week, Aura. I feel like Gen 4 has hits diff, right?
Yeah.
Their execution is a lot better than the previous generations on debut.
Right.
As I'm sure Jihoon knows as well. Gen 2 on debut, if you had some mixing problems or you had some, the dance wasn't fully coordinated, it was normal. It was debut things. But Gen 4 just doesn't do that,
Right.
Yeah, because like it was pretty much only like the major labels that would put out like the really high quality debuts. SM, YG.
Yeah.
And at that time, DSP during early part of like second gen tail and first gen.
Mhm.
So like you could count on them to put out like a quality release of like similar caliber to this.
Right.
But like across the board, it was kind of like, it was pretty much like a given. Like when you debut a group, they're gonna have some minor issues. I mean, actually, I remember like Shiny had under SM when they had their debut with Replay.
Mhm.
They had some mix up in their live performances for their choreography.
Right.
But it's like
it's debut things.
Whatever, it's a new group.
Yeah. But I feel like it's a lot more refined now. They have the formula down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's not just the major labels, but like you can expect a smaller label, or like just come out of nowhere, like a label that we've never heard of before, or it's like their first artist, first group,
Right.
And then they're putting out quality of this scale.
Mm-hmm. Like
Definitely.
our expectations are consistently taking the next level.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, I mean, even PIXY, right? They're under All Art, right?
Right.
Yep. All Art.
I think they're a joint company, but anyway, or joint project group. But anyway, so like they're under All Art, and that's a company I haven't heard of before.
Right.
Same.
And seemingly coming out of nowhere, and yet they're able to produce a group this clean, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that is definitely a big thing when it comes to like what actually creates, or what is actually like normal now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, your mixing and mastering has to be nearly flawless on debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like for this song, right? You can tell they put a ton of work into that mixing and mastering to make it flawless.
Oh yeah.
And that is something I'm really impressed with.
Like we said before, right? If we have if we have nothing to say about it, it means they did it great. Like they did a great job at it.
I mean, when it came to like seeing the name of the song, the group, and also like the members who were assigned, like my expectations for this group was a little bit different. Like I thought it'd be much more less girl crushy, just because the name PIXY, usually like Wings would be considered something more ethereal, and then like the members, like former member Mireille from Cherry Bullet, and Daejong from Supa, or who also worked with Busters. Seeing them.
Daejong Daejong only did one performance with Busters.
Yeah.
So she wasn't actually a part of the lineup.
Right, but
she was like a sub in.
Yeah, but like kind of seeing the like those two, because Sepio, I'm having trouble pronouncing her.
Sepio was part of Girls
Yeah.
Alert. Girls Alert, on debut, they had a different concept compared to like one of their more recent comebacks. So
Yeah.
Girls Alert, they kind of restylized to more like being referred to as GSA, and to kind of more crushed out concept.
Right, but just seeing like the lineup from the previous members, the name, you kind of would have expected something either more ethereal or cutesy. Just assuming just from looking at the members and all that, but actually seeing like this performance and the girl crushy ness, like it just makes an interesting like view of the group, like so
there definitely was a lot more rap than I was expecting. But it wasn't overwhelming to the point where it felt like more of a rap song than a K-pop song, right? They still had a lot of pop elements that really drove the song. It also looks like they have a person that can sing and rap, which is really helpful in a group, because you don't have that disconnection between. So we see that a lot now, especially is having someone that is okay in both, not necessarily good in either one, but to bridge that gap, usually to bring the rap back into the song, or to bring the song into the rap. And I think that's a really wise decision on the company, because I feel like if you always just cut to a rap and then cut back, it's gonna feel boring and it's gonna feel, predictable. But as far as this song goes, I think definitely it makes me want to look forward to like them in the future as well. Because honestly, with how clean this is, I want to know what they have to grow on. I want to know how much better can they get.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I think this is definitely a really strong debut.
Yeah.
And it's perfect too because I remember saying in the chat, like, we talked about it before in a previous topic as well, like, how I was kind of in the mood for more crushed style concept again. Like, I'm ready for it again. And this dropped, I'm like, sweet. It's like they read my mind. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. So,
right.
I like the song, right? And I guess I like the group a lot more than I think I do, because I already got the members' names like down. And I remember telling Aura this like a few years ago before we even started this channel. Like, I can tell how much I like a group by how quickly I get to learn the members' names. So like the fact I've already got it down, like I must like the group a lot.
Yeah,
right. I mean, it's such, because I'd probably want to say that this group kind of play with this MV. They've also got, other than the girl crushness, they've also kind of got like this horror concept that they want to incorporate into it.
Yep.
Especially with like how they when in the opening where they kind of whisper the rap and
the whisper chanty.
and you usually see that in like horror kind of esque movies, music videos, that kind of things. And then
as well as like that one scene where Diaz were like running away from something.
Exactly. Or the choice of the like Jihoon said in our Discord, the choice in scenery, something that we've seen before, and making the whole like building kind of darker, kind of like having overgrown like tree branches or roots or whatever, kind of like draping over the sides, kind of helps develop that horror, that fear kind of feeling, like, and that's something.
There's been a lot.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of music videos shot at this location.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about that as well. One thing I really liked that they incorporated, so that scream that was input into that was in the video, kind of seemingly in the middle of the song, they actually incorporated that into their choreography as well. And I think that also helps reinforce that kind of horror concept. And I wonder if they're gonna run with that for like as a general group concept. It's definitely possible.
They could.
I will say the horror concept is not as explored as I wish it was. So there's not even really a forefront like runner in the horror concept. You've had groups that have explored it before, like Dreamcatcher and
Dreamcatcher touched on it, G-Idol's touched on it, but no one's really kind of stayed in it. Nature even touched on it too.
So it'd be cool if they kind of explored that kind of horror aspect of like their group.
Yeah. And then something I really one of the other things that, or probably two things I really enjoyed is like, you know how we usually talk about the water scene, like incorporating like power. Instead of incorporating it as power, like of a choreography, they kind of use it in a different sense as well. I really didn't get a chance to analyze it fully, but it just felt more of a kind of that trapped feeling or whatever. At least that's what I think. And then where the certain members were in white dresses, kind of feeling like the maiden running away from the whatever horrific things chasing after her, or exploring like a kind of like Alice in Wonderland kind of style. Yeah. So I think that they really incorporated that very well to help kind of speak towards the horror aspect. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So Moving on to the next one, guys.
Let's do it.
All right, Aura, you want to take us into this next one?
All right, so this one is IMLAY with Too Good featuring Chun-Li from NCT. So like an SM release, or SM Town, however you want to say it. It's all under SM.
In collaboration with Reddit.
In collaboration with
No.
that little character.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw that character. So.
I would definitely say it was an interesting release.
I enjoyed it. It was a nice, chill, laid back, kind of song that I really wanted. But at the same time, like, a bit spirited. Yeah, it's not too boring. So it's a good, like, vibe down type of song.
Yeah.
Almost
come home from work. Yeah,
it's almost ethereal.
Yeah.
This song is a very solid vibe. One thing that helps definitely give that kind of vibe is those really high pitched, almost plucky synths.
Yep.
I think they use those synths really well, but also how everything is short and plucked makes it so it's like, it's kind of okay. It's kind of that reassuring feeling that those synths really enforce.
And it gave it like a bit of an open sound to it as well,
yeah.
with the way it resonates.
Yep. So one thing that helps open up this soundstage is that like that swoosh that they kind of use to intro into the pre-chorus and the chorus. They just use kind of this swoosh that just is so far in the back you almost can't hear it, but it's loud enough that it opens up into the song. And that's a really wise decision because that keeps the soundstage open. Because EDM, right? Because this falls into the EDM category. EDM is naturally a closed soundstage. It wants to be very close to you. So keeping it open gives it that tropical feel.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of the synth instruments don't have the same resonance or reverb or anything like that to give it the cue of it's resonating around in this open spacious area. But by adding those features, it does help give it that open spacious feel.
And one thing that really helps is the amount of reverb on his voice. So that really slow reverb that almost sounds like an echo is used to keep that soundstage open as well, because it sounds like it's in this open space and sounds bouncing all around you. Super useful. And obviously having the bass just have that pattern, all of those things help keep that soundstage open like that. Really good usage of effects from IMLAY. I don't know if I've ever heard anything by IMLAY before.
Neither have I.
This is my first.
But IMLAY seems to be really experienced in the work they're creating. So, I also think this is a really nice song now that we're transitioning into spring. This is a really solid transition song because it doesn't feel too overly tropical house to the point where like it's too soon.
Right.
But it also doesn't feel too overly ballad-like, right? It's this perfect section of where the song should be. It slots in perfectly in time.
Yep. Yeah, and for myself, it really does kind of put me into this mood of like I'm being carried away by this music. It's taking my mind elsewhere. It's taking me on a journey, especially with this music video, right? With all this CG scenery that they're going in and out of all these different environments. So it's like I'm traveling along with this music video for sure.
Right.
And it was a great experience for me.
Yeah.
Yep. This is definitely kind of. This is definitely the kind of song where like I almost just want to like play it in my car and just drive down.
Go for a drive. Yes.
Literally it's just that kind of song. But anyway, so yeah. Or was there anything really in the MV that stood out to you?
I mean, it's a otherworldly MV, because And because it is not, it's not using the actual like actual people in the MV, they can do so much more. Like we've talked about like other like animated MVs, other like digital with characters and whatever. You can do so much more that you can't as easily do if you were to have a set stage, like, and it just really helps to display that otherworldly feel. And like Jihoon kind of mentioned jokingly with the Reddit like character, you know, that Reddit character is like looks like an alien. This character looks like an alien, so it kind of helps like further connect like an otherworldly character, you know. And it definitely helps with that their character is very simplistic, that you can kind of project yourself onto that character and just kind of travel throughout the environments and travel throughout the universe, the space, whatever, you know.
I like the usage of low polygon models as well. Like like they're very distinctly blocky,
right?
And I think it fits in very well with the theme of the song itself. Like, you know, because it's a very, you know, synth based song, the EDM. So it gives it like a really computery type of aesthetic.
Right. Yeah, and it's not overly complicated either. Because I think if the environment was overly complicated or it looked way too realistic, it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't have the same effect.
Right.
It would just be too. It's like, well, kind of what we haven't said in a while, but like, you know, less is more in this case. Less is definitely more.
Yep. Also at the same time, you know, while they went with a low polygon kind of aesthetic, it's really well animated.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like the animation work is really solid. There's like not really a ton of flaws that I saw, you know, and so I really think like it was definitely high budget without being high budget, you know.
Yeah.
Without feeling high budget.
Right. It's complicated in a sense with the colors, the overlays, and all that, but simplistic in
some of the filters.
Yeah, but also simplistic in terms of how like we as viewers would see the entire compilation put together. So.
Yeah, it's simplistic in its aesthetic design.
So, yeah, no, this was a very like aesthetically pleasing music video that, you know, you could if you either watched it, it could immerse you, but if you were just listening to it, it could immerse you. So either way, you were becoming immersed in the like world that IMLAY and Chenlei were kind of producing in this music video. Like either way,
well said.
You're in. You're in the world.
Yeah. This also makes me really want to check out the EP. Because this is on an EP. It's 5 songs on the EP.
Yeah. 4th EP at that.
So like there's other EPs to check out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm definitely gonna have to delve into IMLAY's world here and see what kind of content they've been creating.
And again, you know, this is coming from SM Town, and it's like, you know, I think at this point I'm over my SM burnout, and because like they're putting out stuff like this,
right?
So I'm glad. You know, I don't want to be burnt out on the label's releases,
right?
So. All right, so you ready? Moving on to this next one, guys.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
I'm not sure if you can handle it. So this is Wonho's abs featuring Wonho.
There are a lot of abs in this.
There's a lot of skin.
Song is called "Lose." And at this point, I believe Wonho is contractually obligated to feature his abs in every single music video. So,
I mean, he is like built, like he is definitely built.
He's a whole unit, right? But like, man, and I mean, I will say that him using his abs definitely helps attract like the audience he's looking for, right? But also on top of that, I I mean, his song choice, right? So this song, when I was listening to it with Aura, right? I was like, whose style is this? Because this is a current artist style, and I was like, I don't know who, like, quite how to pinpoint it, because it's been kind of touched on, but like, there's one artist that like really stands out to me as like, this is their style, and it hit me. This is Taemin's style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
This is the style that a type of song that I would expect Taemin would put out. You know, that very smooth, almost like velvety smooth type of feel, with you know, nothing vocally outstanding,
but it's silky smooth.
It's in execution.
It just draws you in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I never realized it too, but like with this style of vocals, it's kind of like what we talk about with ballad artists, right? It's a certain amount of skill required and a certain amount of charisma required to be able to draw the listener in with their vocal deliveries, and he's got it here. Again, like you said, right? It's not technically impressive, but the execution and just the sheer amount of charisma that oozes out of his vocals is very impressive. And not everybody, it's not something anybody can do.
But you also have to be charismatic in the way you move as well. You know, when you're doing choreo shots, or in this case, ab shots, you know, you have to be charismatic in that. You know, you have to be confident. And Taemin is as we know, is extremely good at being charismatic in dancing. Right. That is no contest. He's one of the most charismatic dancers that we know. You know, he is so confident in himself.
And you know, even when he's wearing a shirt, he's still got like a cutout to show off his side abs.
You like that?
Or the top buttons are down low enough so you can still see his upper abs. Like, you know, like his abs are still in
yeah. I think his abs got more screen time than he did. So, all jokes aside, I really like the fact that, you know, there's someone else now in this kind of realm that Taemin's only exclusively been in. Because like we talked about it before, like, you know, if you're a small like girl group, right, and you try to break into Dreamcatcher's realm, it's going to be really tough for you. And it's the same with this style, right? Are you going to really challenge Taemin in his home field?
Right.
Yeah, because even before Taemin, I think the last artist who seriously had done this type of style was like Rain. Way back in the day, like way back in the day, back when he was still under JYP. Like,
even then, it was like, are you going to challenge Rain in his home field? Like, you're not going to take shit. You know, you're not going to take a market share off that.
Yeah. You're just gonna be seen as someone who's just like, you know, copying after that main artist is doing it.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, like, because not only that, but you've also mentioned like, when you mentioned that market share, you know, you see, and musically, you also see it visually as well. You know, it's very smooth dancing, not like overly complicated. But it's very enticing. And then like the color choices. There's a lot of like dark colors, the black and white usage, you know, the intensity, like the hairstyle. You kind of see that being used, and definitely difficult to get the market shares from like Taemin or from Rain previously. Like, it's hard to challenge that.
Now, I think one thing that he's done on top, to add to it was the choreography includes a lot of pelvic movements. Taemin would incorporate some of that, but in this like choreography here, it is a lot more prominent throughout.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I would say he also whereas Taemin prioritizes slow moves to maintain the smoothness, he has a lot of fast moving moves, especially in the inside of the chorus, which kind of differentiates him from Taemin a lot as well. And I mean, obviously, while the song style is very similar, it's not a carbon copy.
Right.
You know, and that is a big thing to also note, is that it's a very different execution that he's taken on in instrumentation, especially.
Yeah.
You know, he still has those low synths, right, that are pretty much required for the style, and he still has like obviously drums and whatever. But I mean, there are strings in the back, like way in the back, which I recall, I don't remember Taemin incorporating.
No, I don't either.
So
and also they're really like very present, omnipresent like sub bass that's like throughout the whole song. You know, I remember like with some of Taemin's songs, like he would have it in certain portions of the song, but not as prominent as like here in this song. So, where it really helps drive it forward.
Yeah.
So
When Taemin releases a track that's definitely in this style, you know, he's cutting out, like the sub bass is cutting out a lot to make it a more impactful re-entry, you know, stuff like that. Whereas this is just kind of going forward. I also really liked the usage of electric guitar here.
Oh, you took it from me. I was gonna bring that up next. Oh man,
got him.
That
I get you a lot on that.
Yeah.
I really like the usage of electric guitar here.
Yeah.
I think the electric guitar was used very effortlessly and well.
Yeah, it had a bit of a added a bit of funk flair to it, especially towards the end of the song. Yeah, and
especially also just keeping beat, you know, because they're like at the start, it's just playing, you know, 16th notes, just keeping beat. It's not doing anything fancy. And then they take it out and bring it back in later, but not as a not as a like focal point, you know. They kind of blend in the back.
Yeah, because otherwise without it, the song would have gotten stale very quickly.
I agree.
Yeah. Like I very distinctly, and that's the reason why it stood out to me, is because at the points where they come in, it's like it was, you know, like, oh, I enjoyed that, you know.
Yeah.
It's keeping it fresh from me.
And like you said, it adds a little bit of like natural funk influence, which is always nice, obviously.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, you guys got anything else to say about the music video or the song? Actually, or did you have really anything for the video?
I mean, I think I already said it with the whole black and white, the hairs and all that. I mean, other than like, I don't think because it does feature a gun, I don't think it's going to be part of the KBS.
Oh no, ban on KBS.
Oh, that's automatic ban.
Yeah. Other than that, you know, like it was really well done. Very smooth. The dance, everything that was said already before. Like I'd just be repeating myself, you know. And
don't forget the abs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the abs. The abs, the biceps, triceps, shoulders.
Bro, I didn't even know that many muscles existed on the body. Well, that man is. Well, you know, he's a machine.
His abs got their own abs as well.
Yeah,
so.
His abs have abs. Like, what is that?
All right, so.
All right, let's move it on.
So, bring in this next one.
Wait, who?
Oh man, so Big Naughty, So Donghyun. So, have you guys heard of this artist?
No,
I'm not.
Neither have I. So I did a little bit of research on him. Guess how old this guy is?
Like 28,
29.
You would think that, right? Based off of his vocal style, his vocal timbre.
Yeah.
He is 17 years old.
Wait, what?
He is 17 years old. He is still in high school.
That is fairly impressive, actually.
Wow. For this kind of music video too, like, because one, it's feels like a kidnapping for part of the music video. So yeah, just seeing this kind of music video by a 17-year-old is pretty amazing.
Because he kind of has that older style vocal timbre. I mean, it's not full trot, but there's trot influence in his vocal timbre, which is why I assumed he would be older. You know, near his 30s, somewhere around there. Man, he also has like it's weird because it's like trot mixed with indie acoustic almost.
So
it also feels like there's a little bit of jazz influence.
Oh, there's definitely jazz influence.
So he's no stranger to the entertainment industry, just not in the music industry. He's actually I think I counted 23 drama series that he starred in. Obviously not as like, you know, a main cast member or anything like that, you know, but he's been in the entertainment industry since for at least 7 years now. Oh god, no, longer than that. So 2010 was his oldest work.
Man.
So that was 11 years ago. So, you know, that in turn would explain a lot of why he's got like a lot of this kind of like confidence and charisma going on in, you know, this song and this music video.
Right.
So he may not have been a singer for that long. I don't know if this is his first, like, his debut or his second release or whatever, but you know, he's got the skills and the background to kind of, you know, build from for his kind of release.
And man, June, I gotta ask you about the jazz piano solo. Man, were you in heaven or what?
Bro, you know me. Is that even a real question?
It was amazing. It was amazing.
When it came in, man. Did you guys not see me like dancing on my sofa?
No, I did not.
No.
Oh man, yeah, guys, you guys were in the middle of a conversation at that point, I think.
Yeah.
So I was in it. And then when you brought in Jamie, like right at the end, right after that,
I was not surprised when I heard the opening. I was not surprised to hear how funk it was, and given that Jamie was on it, she is definitely very well known for liking like the funk blues genre just in general.
Yeah.
And her voice matches very well with it.
I think it pairs so well with Big Naughty's vocal choice. It was really well done.
Yep.
They're like so different but so similar at the same time. Because she definitely has pop influence, right? Given that she was trained as a pop artist.
Yeah.
But she still maintains some of that like American funk vocal style. And so she has this kind of unique mix. And given that given that Big Naughty also has that kind of indie acoustic projection,
right?
I mean, gives it a really unique kind of flow to the song.
Yeah. Hey, you guys already knew, like, well, just from hearing this, like, this is gonna be right up my alley. Definitely falls within my range.
Yeah, I mean, there's such a certain like swag influence coming from both the vocals throughout this entire like music video, despite it being like very smooth, and kind of jazzy, the blues kind of feel. It
very atmospheric.
Yeah.
There's just like a confident swag about this, and it's just so good.
So could you imagine being at a jazz bar and we're enjoying some adult beverages and just them performing this live?
Man,
oh my goodness!
And they did a really good job keeping the soundstage open here too, to make it almost seem like it wasn't a jazz bar, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They did a really good job keeping that soundstage nice and open, and the song free flowing inside of it. Which his vocals help a ton. It helps more than you realize. His vocal delivery helps a lot more than you realize. Man, I'm definitely gonna have to check out more by this artist if he has more songs.
Right.
Yep. Same. Like and again,
you know, it's good when I liked it. Because I'm not like a big fan of jazz, you know, like
jazz.
It's okay.
You've said it multiple times. We get it.
Yep.
So,
I mean, like usually, like at best, it's R&B, primarily R&B with some jazz into it, and that was like the best case scenario for you.
Yeah. But this is like more full send jazz than it is R&B.
Yep.
So and I even still I really like it. So
that piano solo, man.
At the very end, that was really good.
Well, and at the mid part before getting into Jamie's part.
Oh yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. Whoever was playing the piano there was ripping on the piano. They were just tearing it up.
Bro, I could feel it. Like, it's just that you just like how we talk about, you can feel like the charisma into a vocalist deliveries. That you can feel the charisma and the pianist like performance.
Yeah.
Like, it was really good.
I think
The
you could
guitar
feel
was a great accompaniment too.
Yeah,
To-
I think
to
you
the-
could very feel the charisma of of everyone, like guitar, pianist, Jamie, Big Naughty. It was a very charismatic song.
And I mean, even so, honestly, one of the in this song, I think something that was really underrated was the bassist.
Because bassists are always underrated. They're always the hero of these type of songs.
Yeah, you have a bad bassist, and the song is going to be horrible. Like
It falls apart.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, because bass is so crucial inside of funk, and so I think the bass isn't doing anything like really hard or really technical, but they maintaining that pace over the course of a 2-3-4 minute song and not messing up is really rough, right? Not getting off beat, especially because humans have a natural beat to themselves. We have a natural rhythm, and so if that doesn't quite line up with the song, it's easy to get off beat.
Yeah.
But man, I think the bassist did super well. And probably that's probably my favorite part is when they reintroduce the bass after the chorus.
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, are you ready to make our picks of the week?
I think so.
So for me, I have a hard time picking between any of the songs that we just talked about because they're all very good in their own right.
There are some songs that we didn't even get a chance to talk about that.
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, if Nick has his, go ahead.
I am still trying to decide, man.
So we're all stalling for time here. All right, we're playing that game now.
Okay.
We're all stalling for time. This sounds like a fun time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think definitely every song has its like good and bads here. I especially really like the amount of diversity we got in this week.
Yeah.
Right? For me, I think I'm gonna have to give it to PIXY.
Okay.
PIXY's a good safe pick.
I really enjoyed the concept as well as how well they executed on something that might have not been familiar to everyone, and how naturally clean the debut was. So I'm gonna give it to.
All
right. I'm gonna guess Aura picked Wonho's abs.
No. So,
I just wanted to say that.
So for me, this is one that we didn't actually talk about, and because the Onion Ninja decided to come up and kick me in the face, kick us in the face. It's going to be CL's "Wish You Were Here." It is such
her song dedicated to her mother.
Yeah, it is such a beautiful song, and I honestly did cry. Obviously it didn't come down my face, but I did cry. I teared up. Because we've all experienced loss, and it's such a beautiful song, and CO's vocals were just absolutely amazing. I'm honestly getting choked up thinking about the song again. So before
the Onion Ninja's back.
Yeah, Onion Ninjas are back.
Yeah.
So Jihoon, you gotta pick yours before I actually start getting choked up.
All right. Well, I think I got it narrowed down to Big Naughty, Joker.
Yep.
With Jamie.
That's definitely an amazing song.
It really is, man.
All of these were amazing choices, and the ones that we didn't pick are still amazing. Give them all a listen. We've got more that are going to be in the description too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, as always. All right, so for our quick shots, first up we got Brave Girls, "Rollin'." That song came out in 2017, but it's trending 4 years later. It gained almost another million views in 2 days. Currently trending number 5 on Melon's popular keyword search.
Wow.
Yeah. And so a lot of what's driving that apparently is coming from military men who, were just dropped a lot of comments on the music video saying like, yeah, thank you for this song to help get me through my enlistment. So,
Okay.
And they've been going through and actually responding to a lot of those comments.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep. And even a producer, for the song, found out about it. It's like, and just like, great. It's like, yeah, sure. It took 4 years, but finally getting some recognition. It's always amazing. I love stuff like this. I really do. So. All right. Well, on to you, Nick.
So, if you remember, we talked about Tribe with Dum Dum Ta, right?
Yep.
And that has debuted on the Gaon download chart at number 70. So the highest debuts for the Gaon download chart by a 2020 to 2021 female group there have only been 4 in 2020 to 2021. Those are aespa with Forever, which debuted at 28. Obviously aespa's Black Mamba as well, which debuted at 36. Then Tribe, so Doom Doom Ta, which we talked about, that debuted at 70, and then Stacy's So Bad, which debuted at 156. So looks like they definitely are charting very well for their debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And definitely looks like they're only going to go up from here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. So now we are coming up at the end of the period for our bingo board, and let's see, how many almost bingos did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
4 almost bingos. So
yeah, my hope for the full Viking theme is we kind of fell through.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Look, we almost got a few. We almost got a few.
Yeah. Well, I guess what upsets me most is the 2 that happened like before we started the bingo board.
Yeah.
Like, one of them like literally the day before.
Mm-hmm.
We would have had a bingo from that. Former X1 member with a solo debut. That happened like literally the day before.
Mm-hmm. Card with a non-Latin influence comeback was like maybe a week or 2 before.
Yep.
Dreamcatcher was so close to getting a first win. Yep. All of that, like, man. And we had so many that were really close during this as well. So
yeah, because SNSD, you said SNSD they announced that they were going to do something.
Yeah,
right?
they're in talks to get a comeback.
Later this year, I'm like,
I think COVID also has something to do with that, right? With like pushing back a lot of schedules and whatnot.
Potentially.
So, potentially.
I mean, we can't guarantee nothing, so.
Yeah. Yep. So Twice member having a solo release, I totally flopped on that one because I totally forgot about JYP's trauma over Miss A.
Yeah.
Miss A.
Susie and friends.
So yep. So I totally forgot about that. That was my big flop. Girl group debuts with a fairy concept.
We got close.
And
well,
we hit
the nail on the head with a bunch of girl groups debuting around this time.
Yeah.
Because I mean that was correct. However, the fairy concept, the problem is that right now girl groups want to go for something that is a lot more hard hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, because like I mean, sure we did have some cutesy weekly. That's pretty cutesy. Pretty sure. Yeah. That's like signature and weekly. Pure weekly only did that on their not their debut but on their comeback.
Yeah.
So
same with the aespa. Aespa also did for their comeback.
Oh yeah, man! aespa's comeback would have been perfect. Like would have been it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then
Saturday's comeback too.
Yeah.
Same. Yep. Saturday. Oh, man.
And then top company releases. It wasn't a top company, but there were a few like medium to small companies that did like label artist special Christmas releases.
Yeah, and so for that too, like I really flopped on my wording for that because like I didn't intend like a recognizable company was what I really more intended, not like because top company implies your big companies like YG, SM, which SM does that a lot too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we got close. Some of the ones that did surprise me though was we did get an ISN all kill.
We got multiple. We got
multiple all kills. Yeah, that was incredible.
Man, and so like I was really surprised to see that they the ice and all kill actually.
Mm-hmm.
That actually happened, you know.
Yep.
You know, as well. I mean, we had like a full, like a couple full on breakout songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think we did good in, like, because we also hit a lot of boxes. We hit a lot of check marks. It's just none of them really lined up.
yeah.
Well, plus two, we also shuffled the board.
Yeah,
right
had
after
we not
put it all in.
shuffled, we would have had one, because all of the like white boxes, or the light gray boxes that we took out of the middle and put elsewhere all got done. So yeah, we would have had a bingo, at least one, maybe multiple.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, we had to give ourselves a handicap. We were just too good at. I mean, over half the board is filled. So
I call that a success.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and again, like we deliberately had to go for, because like we made another handicap as well. Like, well, we have to make some harder predictions as well. Like that could happen, but not likely to happen.
Yeah, because if we did all the easier predictions, I mean, we could have filled the board and got it done in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have had multiple bingos, right? Like pretty much within a couple months.
Well, we also had bad timing. Yeah.
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 Pretty poor timing.
Yes.
All right. Well,
let's finish it off.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
all right. Thank you for watching. This has been Isles Nation. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click that bell icon if you want to know when we upload in the future. All the MVs and other MVs that we didn't talk about will be in the description down below. As always, thank you to our patrons. We love you guys so much, and thank you for loving our content. And a link to all of our socials will also be in the description down below. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.